Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Psycho Nitro Blast for Season 1, Round 10 of Racing 8-Scale Nitro Buggy here on VRC-Pro. Top 10 drivers lined up after qualifying, getting set to go here in the main event. 20-minute race for these drivers. Tone sounds, we are off and underway. On to the right-hand side of the track they go. The new Psycho Nitro Blast layout here. Oh, trouble right off the start there for a front runner. Markku Konkanen was your TQ, and I believe that was Konkanen. Having a mistake there. We'll let these drivers get themselves sorted out here. Lap number 1, working their way around. A lot of racing left to go for these drivers here in this one on the Psycho Nitro Blast 2013 layout. Up and over that big air triple section they go. The signature wooden ramps. On to the backside of the track. Coming around for lap number 1 now. David Barcena there in the number 2 spot. Chasing down your leader, that all pink buggy. On to the left-hand side they go through the switchback sections, back around to the front straight now. Markku Konkanen going to be out front, leading the way, your TQ. David Barcena in the number 2 spot. Markku Konkanen then a hot pink buggy working his way into the center section now through the whoop section. He's going to be 0.6 seconds ahead of Barcena. Barcena in the number 2 spot. Top 2 drivers starting to spread themselves out just a little bit on the field early on in this one. That number 3 Kyosho car down the front stretch. Up and over the triple. Watch the start right here. The number 2 car. That is Marcin Malinski. Malinski coming up a little bit short, rolling it over all the way to the back of the pack he goes. A rough start for Marcin Malinski. He's in the number 8 spot right now. He's definitely got the speed to win this one. We'll see if time is on his side right now. Consistency. He's got to work his way back up through a long, hard-charging field right now. Sitting in the number 7 spot on the right-hand side. He goes almost tripling into that back corner. Up and over the big double section he goes. Working his way back and forth through the switchbacks. Konkanen still out front right now. Barcena in the number 2 spot. Around the wall. Yolan DeWeird in the number 3 spot. That blue and yellow buggy. Black wheels, white wing. Bowing out right now. Tobias Isaacson. And David Barcena. And it looks like Barcena now taking over the top spot. Markku Konkanen dropping back to the number 2 spot now. Battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. All going to be right there together. Through the switchback section they go. Lapavo working his way around the pink and a white buggy. Coming back around to the front side. On to the right side now. Jumping all the way into that back corner. Markku Konkanen back out front once again. David Barcena in the number 2 spot. Oh, a trouble there. That was Tobias Isaacson taking over the top 3 spot. However, he rolls it over. Yolan DeWeird moving back up into the 3rd now. A lot of racing left to go for these drivers right now. DeWeird onto the left-hand side. Back into the center section now. He's got company coming up behind him. Markku Konkanen still out front. 1.2 seconds ahead of David Barcena in the number 2 spot. Tobias Isaacson in the 3 spot. Yolan DeWeird in the number 4 spot. And right now, actually, this will move him up to the 3 spot. Marcin Malinski up into the 4th place spot. Malinski dives to the inside now. Malinski working his way all the way back up to the front of the pack after a rough start. There's David Barcena, your number 2 driver. Oh, Barcena with a little bit of a mistake there. Marcin Malinski charging hard, trying to catch up to him right now. Barcena got company coming up behind him as Malinski in that orange and white buggy. Malinski, no stranger to the front of the pack. Up and over that big triple section they go back into the infield. Markku Konkanen going to be out front. He's at about 0.6 of a second on 2nd and 3rd right now. Malinski closing that gap fast on Barcena in the number 2 spot. Working their way around the Monster Energy section down the front straight now. Barcena crossing the line on that one. 45-1. Marcin Malinski closing that gap fast. Down the back section they go. Malinski looking for the inside line. Not quite enough space right there to make it happen. Into the whoop section they go. Now Malinski dives down the inside, side by side. Malinski not able to make it happen once again. Barcena closing the door on him. Into the tight 180. Big air right here. Malinski going to set him up, go wide to the inside. Not quite close enough to make the pass right there. Malinski charging hard, but Barcena holding strong. Markku Konkanen, meanwhile, going to be out front in that all pink buggy. On to the left-hand side he goes right now. Barcena in that number 2 spot. Malinski still in the 3 spot. There we take a look at your number 2 driver, David Barcena. On to the right side. Malinski jumps past now. Barcena back up to the number 2 spot. Side by side over the back jump they go. Malinski looking for the inside line. Barcena closed the door once again through the whoop section. Malinski back and forth now. Up into the wall they go, coming back into the infield section. Malinski now up into the number 2 spot. Barcena going to be right there behind him. Marcin with the inside line. Malinski up and over the big triple now. Marcin Malinski locks into the number 2 spot now. Barcena drops to 3rd. Chasing down your leader, Markku Konkanen, only 6 laps into this one. Konkanen set that TQ time after qualifying, but Marcin Malinski right now proving he may be the fastest driver on the track. Back around to the front right side they go. Malinski jumping all the way into that corner. Up and over the catapult jump on the backside they go through the switchbacks. Once again coming into the whoop section now. Markku Konkanen going to be out front. Oh, little mistake there from Malinski. Barcena trying to close that gap up on him just a little bit as they work their way around into the big air triple right in front of the driver's stand. Malinski nice and smooth right there. Barcena starting to close that gap up on him. Markku Konkanen holding strong right now, 1.1 seconds ahead of second and third. And look at David Barcena. Barcena dives to the inside. Barcena back up to the number 2 spot now. Marcin Malinski drops to 3rd. Coming back around to the front straight now, David Barcena up into the number 2 spot. Marcin Malinski dropping to 3rd. Markku Konkanen, meanwhile, no idea what's going on behind him as he is cruising out front. 1.2 seconds ahead of second and third right now. DeWeer to the number 4 spot. Isaacson in the 5 spot. David Barcena starting to put a car length or two between him and Malinski now. Getting close to come up on our first set of pit stops as they work their way through the triple section. Right now, David Barcena in the number 2 spot. Marcin Malinski in that number 3 spot. There you see Markku Konkanen out front in that hot pink buggy. Oh, David Barcena clips the inside pipe and rolls it over. Marcin Malinski now up into the number 2 spot. Malinski with a mistake coming onto the front straight right there. Clips that outside pipe. Your leader, Markku Konkanen, out front leading this one. There you can see the gap between them right there. Konkanen through the whoop section. A flawless race so far for Markku Konkanen. Starting the number 1 spot. He's trying to finish there right now, but still a lot of racing left to go. 7 minutes down in this one. Getting ready to come up on our first set of pit stops as they work their way up and over the triple section onto the left-hand side now. Back through the infield. That hot pink Kyosho car. Markku Konkanen looking for a possible win here in round 10. There you see that battle for second and third. David Barcena. Barcena has closed the gap up once again on Marcin Malinski. And David Barcena coming in for fuel on this one. 7:25 down. Barcena in the pits now. In and out. A good pit stop for him right there. We'll see it all shakes down after all these drivers make the pit stops. Here's Marcin Malinski, your number 2 driver. And as you can see, he's going to be 2.3 seconds back from Markku Konkanen. So Konkanen stepping up the pace here in this one. We'll see if these drivers make their pit stop on this one. Malinski working his way around up and over the big triple section. Markku Konkanen going to be out front. We'll see if Konkanen pits on this lap as well. Up and over the double section they go. Through the switchbacks. Barcena with his pit stop, dropping to the number 5 spot. However, that will change up. Marcin Malinski in for fuel now. It's going to put Barcena and Malinski right there once again, right back together. Here comes David Barcena. Barcena down the front stretch. Malinski out of the pits now. So Marcin Malinski holding on to the position. And Malinski jumping all the way up into that back corner. David Barcena now right there behind him, I believe. Coming up a little bit short, was actually faster than jumping all the way into the corner. Oh, and Malinski, a weird mistake right there. Catches the front wheel on something in the whoop section. Front end bottomed out. Spun him around right there. So David Barcena back over to the number 2 spot now. Markku Konkanen going to be out front, still leading this one. 8:45 down. Konkanen looks like he's going to come in for fuel on this one, making a late pit stop. Oh, little mistake there. Got lucky coming into pit lane. 8:55 down here in this one. There's Barcena, your number 2 driver, coming around to the front side. Now down the front stretch he goes. There's your leader, Markku Konkanen, in and out of the pits right now. 1.9 seconds separate the 2 drivers. It's Konkanen, Barcena, and Malinski, your top 3 still. As you can see, Barcena putting a little breathing room right now between him and Marcin Malinski in the number 3 spot. Up and around the Works Racing wall they go. The unique wooden takeoffs. Here, the Psycho Nitro Blast. Back into the center section now. Barcena makes a little mistake right there, just as I was getting ready to say. Looking smooth here in this one. Clips that inside pipe. Marcin Malinski closes the gap up on him just a little bit. Onto the left side they go, drop it down. Back around to the front side now, David Barcena. He's going to be 2.4 seconds back from your leader, Markku Konkanen. Coming up on that 10-minute mark, halfway in this one. Up and over the roller they go into the whoop section now. Malinski looks like he may be gaining just a little bit of time on Barcena. Barcena coming up and over the double. Slow, whoa! Big air whip right there. Barcena grabbing some style points on that one. Markku Konkanen still out front, your leader. The hot pink buggy working his way onto the left-hand side of the track. Back around through that tricky chicane, onto the front stretch you go. Markku Konkanen, 10:30 down in this one. Konkanen with a near flawless race so far here in this one. No major mistakes whatsoever out of your leader. He's led this one from the start. Up and around the works racing wall he goes. Barcena now dropping back to the number 3 spot. Marcin Malinski moving up into the number 2 spot. Now that battle for second and third. The race to watch so far in this one. And a great angle there. That huge triple section. As they work their way through the switchback section into the backside. Marcin Malinski in that number 2 spot. David Barcena dropping back to third. Nice tight line there for Marcin Malinski. Back around to the front stretch they go. Markku Konkanen with a 2-second lead right now. Staying pretty steady between these drivers. Malinski and Barcena. DeWeerd still going to be in the number 4 spot. Isaacson in the 5 spot. Bowden in the number 6 spot now. 11:30 down in this one. Marcin Malinski started second. This one had a terrible start. Went all the way back to last and has worked his way back up to second now. Only 2 seconds back from your leader, Markku Konkanen. David Barcena still in that number 3 spot. Less than a second back from your second place driver. Your top 3 drivers all going to be right there together. Barcena, he's got about a 7-second lead on the 4th place spot right now. 12 minutes down, 8 to go here in this one. As they work their way back through the infield section right now. You can see Markku Konkanen holding pretty steady right now. Malinski chipping away at that lead just a little bit. They are 1.8 seconds apart now. They were 2.2 seconds apart. So Malinski slowly but surely trying to reel in your leader. Airing it out through that big air triple section. Into the back left corner they go now. Marcin Malinski starting to pick up the pace. David Barcena latching onto the back of him. Through the switchbacks they go, coming back around to the front side now. We'll see what the gap is as they cross the line on this one. Back around the front stretch they go. Markku Konkanen now only 0.6 of a second. Marcin Malinski has closed that gap up. Malinski chasing down your leader right now. Into the center section they go, through the whoop section, getting ready to head into the works racing wall. Up and around the corner they go now. Malinski trying to close that gap up there. You see Markku Konkanen. We're going to have a battle for the lead here in this one. 13 minutes down, 7 minutes left to go. Up and over the big triple section they go. Malinski laying down some fast laps as this one is coming to a close. Through the switchbacks they go into the back left corner. Once again, Markku Konkanen going to be out front leading the way. Malinski in second. David Barcena starting to drop back a bit in third. Little mistake there from Malinski. Gives Markku Konkanen a little bit of breathing room. Coming back around to the front straight now. They are going to be 0.4 seconds apart. Malinski diving into that corner right there. Malinski's got the inside line. Markku Konkanen closes the door on him. Through the switchback sections once again. Coming back into the infield. Through the whoop section. Up into the wall now. As you can see, these drivers nailing the perfect lines right now. Working their way around the track. Malinski looking for that inside line. Markku Konkanen holding strong right now. The pressure not getting to him whatsoever. Through the switchbacks once again. Malinski pushing hard onto the backside. Up and over the double. Malinski's got the inside line once again. Malinski now your leader. Markku Konkanen dropping back to the number 2 spot for the first time in this race. Gives up the lead to Marcin Malinski. Can Malinski hold on to this one for yet another Season 1 win? Onto the backside he goes, up and over the double section. Malinski, the orange and white buggy. Markku Konkanen not letting him out of his sights right now. Konkanen wants that spot back. Through the switchbacks they go, and Markku to the inside. Not quite able to make the pass right there. Dives the inside once again, sets him up. He's going wide. Dives back to the inside, up into the triple section they go now. Marcin Malinski out front. Markku Konkanen in the number 2 spot. Konkanen hanging right there with your leader. Up and over that short tabletop section into the back left they go now. This race winding down. We're going to be coming up on another set of pit stops here shortly. Malinski coming around now, down around to the front stretch. 14:45 down here in this one. These drivers should start pitting around the 15-minute mark. Up and over the double section. Just as I say that, there's David Barcena. Barcena making his pit stop just shy of the 15-minute mark right there on that one. So Barcena, his final pit stop out of the way now. It's nothing but racing from here on out for Barcena. Markku Konkanen in that number 2 spot. Malinski now. There you can see Malinski putting a little bit of a gap on Markku Konkanen. Right now, Malinski looking smooth out front. He needs a clean pit stop as they work their way around. 15:30 left to go, or 15:30 down. Onto the left-hand side of the track they go once again. And Markku Konkanen coming in for fuel now. He's in and on the wall. Here comes David Barcena. Barcena coming around down the front stretch. And Barcena going to be right there with Markku Konkanen now. So David Barcena in the number 3 spot, chasing down what was your leader, and now in second, Markku Konkanen. Barcena looking for the inside line, not able to make the pass there. Through the whoop section they go. Into the Works Racing wall. Marcin Malinski out front right now, but he's still got 1 pit stop left to go here in this one. We'll see how this plays out and when he makes that pit stop. 16 minutes down, 4 to go. Your leader on the left-hand side of the track, the orange and white buggy. Coming around right now, and he goes on by for this one, so he's pushing his fuel right now onto the right-hand side, trying to get every bit of ground he can get. And the battle is once again on between David Barcena and Markku Konkanen. Barcena up into the number 2 spot now. Markku Konkanen drop into the number 3 spot. Onto the backside they go, up and over the catapult jump. There you see Marcin Malinski working his way into the big triple section right now. He's got a 9-second lead on second and third. However, he's still going to make that pit stop, which will slow things down just a bit for him. Onto the backside of the track, the orange and a white machine. Working his way around right now, Barcena and Konkanen. Markku Konkanen up into the number 2 stop on now. And there's your leader makes a huge mistake coming into the pits. Clips the end of pit lane right here, spins him out. He's going to have to be corner marshal on that one. That's going to change all sorts of things up. There you see Marcin Malinski in the pits, drops all the way to third now. That's going to change it up. And another mistake for Marcin Malinski there. Another mistake, 3 in a row right there. Marcin Malinski jumping all the way to the corner, clips the inside, lands back on his wheels, goes for the catapult jump, and comes up short. Marcin Malinski may have just handed over the win here in this one. The battle is on now. Markku Konkanen and David Barcena, 1 and 2. Konkanen in that pink buggy, David Barcena. Barcena up into the lead now. Barcena, the all-white buggy, yellow wheels, white wing. Onto the backside they go. Markku Konkanen in the hot pink buggy. Working their way back around right now, David Barcena. Started in the number 5 spot. With 2 minutes left to go in this race, he is out front leading the way right now. Markku Konkanen in the number 2 spot. Marcin Malinski 4 seconds back in third. Malinski having a bit of a rough race. Here to start this one and end this one. Barcena, the all-white buggy, working his way into the infield section once again. Markku Konkanen wants this win just as bad. These top 2 drivers pushing each other back and forth. They go through the big air triple section right now. Barcena with a couple car length lead on Konkanen. Up and over the tabletop section into the back left. 18:30 down, a minute 30 left to go for these drivers. Back around to the front side now. David Barcena going to be out front. There is Marcin Malinski in a lonely 3rd place. 14 seconds ahead of 4th and 4 seconds behind 2nd. Coming back through the infield section. Close battle right now. David Barcena. He's got company coming up behind him as Markku Konkanen has turned up the heat with a minute left to go in this one. Up and over the double section. Into the big air now. Barcena. Up and over the big triple. Markku Konkanen right there behind him. Trying to mimic those lines back and forth. Latch onto him right now. Up and over the back catapult section. 19:15 down. Lap times are going to be close. We'll see if they get one more after this one. This may be their last lap. Onto the backside they go, up and over the catapult. David Barcena, 0.6 of a second ahead of Markku Konkanen, the number 2 spot. Konkanen has led almost this entire race. Through the whip section they go. Less than 30 seconds left on the master clock. Whether they get the free or not, it is going to be close. Up and over the double section they go now, coming back around. Into the big triple, 15 seconds left for these drivers. Markku Konkanen hoping for the free lap, trying to catch up right now to David Barcena. Onto the backside they go, 8 seconds left on that master clock. There's your leader, David Barcena, 5 seconds left. Up and over the roller. That's going to be time. David Barcena taking the win in this one. Markku Konkanen second. Marcin Malinski working his way back up to the number 3 spot. A great race right there from the Psycho Nitro Blast for Season 1, Round 10.